Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as the 4Y Broadcasting Network presents race number 2 of the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. Today, we are live here from Fontana, California, home of the Auto Club Speedway, as we begin the 2022 edition of the West Coast Wing. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon, just currently under 80 degrees. Track temperature is about 90 degrees, so there's going to be plenty of grip, plenty of fast speeds. That should make for an exciting race here tonight here at Fontana. This race begins in the late afternoon, but it will end under the lights. Which team and drivers are going to make the right adjustments to keep up with the racetrack and be there at the end. And the fans are still piling in, ready to see the first Xfinity race in Fontana in over 2 years. Remember, the series did not race here in 2021 due to COVID-19. We have 40 drivers that are making up the starting field, and we have a rookie on the pole. Austin Hill, making his first ever trip to the Auto Club Speedway, set the fastest lap in qualifying earlier this morning, putting his United Reynolds Chevrolet on the pole. Josh Berry, who's also making his Auto Club debut, rolls off on the outside of the front row. Last week we saw an insane season opener at Daytona. Just 1 week ago, the former Truck Series champion Brett Moffitt shocked the world by scoring his very first NASCAR Xfinity Series win. And not only was it the first win for Brett Moffitt, but it was the first win for our motorsports as an organization. How much momentum will that carry Brett Moffitt through the course of the year? As we all know, momentum is so important here in NASCAR. And that win puts the 0-2 of Brett Moffitt in the playoffs for the 2022 season. Just last night, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series had a great race, with Zane Smith picking up his 4th career Truck Series win after we saw some mid-race drama shake up the entire running order. As currently, though, tonight it is NASCAR Xfinity Series' turn here on the Auto Club Speedway. And as we glance at the cars on pit lane, rolling off from just outside the top 10 is the defending Cup Series champion, Kyle Larson. Now, Kyle Larson has not ran an Xfinity Series race since the August race at Bristol in 2018. In fact, Larson has won 4 of the last 5 races he has competed in. So obviously, it is safe to say that if any of our Xfinity regulars will win tonight, they're going to have to go through that 88 of Kyle Larson. Now, a few other interesting stories to mention before we get set to go green. A few of the names in the field. We got the 20 car, Trevor Bayne, out of Knoxville, Tennessee, the 2011 champion of the Daytona 500, makes his return to NASCAR, to the NASCAR Xfinity Series for the first time since Watkins Glen in 2016. The Knoxville driver comes out of semi-retirement to make a return to the sport, driving for Coach Joe Gibbs. He will start also outside the top 10, so he'll be fun to watch drive up through the field as well. And that will complete all the storylines heading up in today's Production Alliance Group 300 here from the Auto Club Speedway. Austin Hill, Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, Sheldon Creed, and Noah Gragson, your top 5 on the starting grid. Who will get set to go to victory lane here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway? Time to find out. But first, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we will show you your full starting grid for tonight's race here in Fontana, California. We are back live, getting set to go here at the Auto Club Speedway. Let's take a look here at your starting grid for tonight's Production Alliance 300. On the front row, like we talked about, Georgia native Austin Hill grabs his very first Xfinity Series pole, next to Josh Berry, both making their Auto Club debut. Row 2, we have the 19 Brandon Jones. He dominated the most recent race here in Fontana back in 2020. And we have rookie Sheldon Creed for RCR. Row 3, the number 9 of Noah Gragson has 2 prior Fontana starts with the best finish of 12th back in his rookie year. He has 19-year-old Ty Gibbs starting to his outside. Row 4, Daniel Hemrick, 2 top 10s and 3 Fontana starts, and Justin Allgaier with his Brent Chevrolet. Row 5 is Riley Herbst, runner-up here back in 2020 with Joe Gibbs Racing, and Brandon Brown earns his best qualifying result here at this track. He completes the top 10. Jumping back to row 6, we have the 88 of Kyle Larson. He returns to the series. He won here back in 2014, which was his very first Xfinity win. And he has his number 5 is Stephen Parsons, who does a great job putting BJ McLeod's number 5 car inside the top dozen. Row 7, the 44, Alex LeBay makes his first ever start for Alpha Prime Racing. And welcome back, Trevor Bayne. He returns to Xfinity competition with Joe Gibbs Racing. Row 8, Landon Castle driving for Colleague Racing. Jeb Burton, top 5 last week at Daytona. Row 9, we have Ryan Vargas. He missed the show last week at Daytona, makes his Fontana debut tonight. And AJ Allmendinger, he has not ran an Xfinity car here at California in 15 years. Row 10, the 1 of Sam Mayer for Junior Motorsports, and the 39 of Ryan C. Row 11, Anthony Alfredo, top 5 last week at Daytona. He has a top 10 here 2 years ago. And Tommy Joe Martins driving the 45 this week for Alpha Prime. Row 12, we have the 51 of Jeremy Clements out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, and last week's winner from Daytona, Brett Moffitt. Row 13 is Kyle Weatherman aboard the Sam Hunt Racing number 24, and David Starr, top 10 last week at Daytona as well. Row 14, another South Carolina native, Jordan Anderson in the 32, and Texas native Austin Wayne Self in the 37. Row 15 has 2 drivers who failed to qualify last week at Daytona, the 07 of Joe Graff Jr. and the 15 of Bailey Curry. Row 16, Josh Williams driving the 78 for BJ McLeod, and the 31 of Myatt Snyder in his Tax Slayer Chevrolet. Row 17, Ryan Truex in the 4 for JD Motorsports, and Jade Buford out of Big Machine Racing. Row 18 has Colin Garrett, makes his 2022 debut in the number 26 for Sam Hunt, and Jeffrey Earnhardt coming off a career best run last week at Daytona, finishing in 2nd place. It was also the best finish ever for DGM Racing as a organization. Row 19, Preston Pardus makes his 2nd career start on an oval, driving the 92. He was not approved to run last week at Daytona, and Ronnie Bassett Jr. on his outside. Running out the field of 40 competitors, we have the 47 of Matt Mills from Mike Harmon Racing, and former modified winner Danny Bone will complete the field of 40 cars. I want to take a minute here before we go green to give a few shout outs to a few teams after a very successful outing last week at Daytona. One team that had a great showing last week at Daytona was DGM Racing. Now, we briefly talked about Jeffrey Earnhardt as we were showing the starting grid, but Jeffrey Earnhardt scored his best finish of his series career last week. It was a 2nd place finish to Brett Moffitt. It was even more impressive, like we said, that it was the best finish ever for Mario Goslin's team, DGM Racing. Now, although Goslin experienced engine failure earlier in the race and the 92 car finished in last place, their other two cars were inside the top 10. One of them, Jeffrey Earnhardt, had, like we said, had a career best finish. The other one was David Starr. And there's a look at the 36 of David Starr, his Whataburger Chevrolet. He had a great run last week, even led a lap or 2. This team hopes to carry that momentum here into Fontana. Now, as they had a great night a really great night last week at Daytona, no team had a better showing though than Our Motorsports. This is the first year that Our Motorsports will become a 3-car team. They've been a 2-car team the last couple of years. This year they expanded to a 3-car team. The 02 of Brett Moffitt, we talked about him, got that huge win last week at Daytona, the first one of his Xfinity Series career. Comes on the biggest stage at Daytona and puts that car in the playoffs for the first time in that team's history. But they also had two other cars with a great showing as well. The 23, Anthony Alfredo, had a top 5 run. He makes his 2nd start here at Fontana, but this is his first ever full season in Xfinity competition. He ran a limited schedule in 2020 for RCR and then moved to Cup right away last year. But with his first full Xfinity season, Anthony Alfredo had a great run last week, finishing inside the top 5. The other driver who had a great run, the 27, Jeb Burton, nearly won the race and ends up finishing, I believe, 3rd place last week at Daytona. So That was a huge week for a small team like our Motorsports to have all 3 cars inside the top 5. And with Daytona a super speedway, the 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 chance of leaving Daytona with a damaged race car is very, very likely, and that is a huge hit for a small team. So for that team to have all 3 cars inside the top 5 with no damage, that is a huge win for that team moving forward through the rest of the year. Austin Hill, Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, Sheldon Creed, Noah Gragson, and Ty Gibbs. That is how the top 6 will look. We're going to take another commercial break, but when we come back, we will have the start of the Production Alliance Group 300 here from the Auto Club Speedway. Stay tuned. The lights are out at the top of the pace car, so we are going to go green here. This time by with Austin Hill and Josh Berry. A lot of the guys starting up here at the front have never raced here on this 2-mile Auto Club Speedway. That's going to change right here tonight. Austin Hill and Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, Sheldon Creed coming down the line. And we are green here in the Production Alliance Group 300. Pretty good start there by both cars on the front row, but maybe a little bit better launch by the 8 of Josh Berry. Picks his nose ahead as they enter turn number 1. Austin Hill on the bottom. Can he clear up off turn number 2? Berry is there, and he's going to have a nice run here off turn 2. And he's going to get a little bit of drafting up from the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Brandon Jones 3 wide on the inside. Noah Gragson now makes a move up top of the 9. And just like that, Austin Hill does not get a great jump. He falls back to 4th place. It's Josh Berry with the lead off turn number 4. And we have the 21 coming to pit lane. Austin Hill down pit road. Trouble for your pole center here on lap number 1. Not sure what the issue is with the 21 of Austin Hill, but he comes down pit lane. But it's Josh Berry leading Sheldon Creed and Brandon Jones off turn number 2. Daniel Hemrick now on the inside of the 9 of Noah Gragson. There's the 18 of Ty Gibbs down low, trying to make it 3 wide on the inside lane. Gragson clears Hemrick, but Hemrick fights back down low, and Gibbs continues to try to pressure on the 11 and the 9. Hemrick clears Gragson, but now Gibbs still to his inside off turn number 4. Further back to 7 of Justin Allgaier. There's the 98 of Riley Herbst. Behind him, the 68 of Brandon Brown. He's been fast here all weekend long. A great showing here for this small team. He winner from Talladega last season. 2 guys that I think a lot of guys are going to be keeping an eye on. The 88 of Kyle Larson for obvious reasons. You know, he's a former winner here at Fontana on the Xfinity side. Also the Cup Series champion from 2021, Trevor Bayne. Former champion of the Daytona 500. There's Riley Herbst now making a pass on Noah Gragson. Ty Gibbs still working on the 11 of Daniel Hemrick so he can get behind the 19 of his teammate Brandon Jones. And Josh Berry shot out of a cannon here on the start. Saw another car on pit lane. Looks like Austin Hill is leaving pit road, but there was another car on pit lane trying to get a look on who that was. That's the 24 of Kyle Weatherman. So trouble now for the 24 of Kyle Weatherman. He's now on pit lane. Right now, though, it is all Josh Berry here at the front of the field over Sheldon Creed, Brandon Jones. Allgaier has now moved up into 4th place in that 7 car, and now Ty Gibbs finally completes the pass on Daniel Hemrick to move inside the top 5. It's Herbst, Hemrick, Gragson. 9th place battle between Brandon Brown and Kyle Larson. There's Landon Castle on the bottom, Trevor Bayne up top in the 20. There's the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, 39 of Ryan Sieg and Jeb Burton. Top 5, we talked about his great run last week at Daytona. Brett Moffitt, a win last week. The first of our known playoff contenders here in 2022. Another driver making his Fontana debut, the 1 of Sam Mayer.
He struggled in practice. He qualified deep in the field, but he's now trying to work his way back up. Alex LeBay, his first race of the year, his first race for a new team, Alpha Prime Racing. He spent the last couple of years of his career driving for DGM Racing. But now his new boss, right behind him in that 45, that's Tommy Joe Martins on the inside of Jeremy Clements. Further back, Stephen Parsons, he started inside the top dozen. He's now drifted back outside the top 15. Austin Hill, though, is back on track in the 21, and now we got the 24 of Kyle Weatherman coming back on the track as well. So definitely not the start they were looking for. But right now, Josh Berry, like we said, he was shot out of the cannon. He had a really good start. Austin Hill being the pole sitter, he was the control car, and although Josh Berry did not go first, it looked like Hill maybe spun the tires himself, honestly, or maybe he had a problem that maybe the reason why he came down pit road was a reason why he did not really get that good of a start initially, and that's what gave Josh Berry the lead here early on. Ty Gibbs now trying to work his way by the 7, Justin Allgaier. He has him cleared. That's going to put the JGR teammates 3rd and 4th. Should Gibbs complete the pass here down to turn number 1. Working lap number 9 here right now. It's Ty Gibbs and Justin Allgaier still battling for that 3rd place. Now Allgaier, though, trying to find a way around that 19 of Brandon Jones. It seems like the 7 of Allgaier is definitely one of our biggest movers here since the drop of the green flag. And remember, we are going to be having stages. We talked about this in the truck race last night. Talked about it again right here. You know, we got, as you see, Ty Gibbs now try to work his way around the 7 and the 19. Lap number 20 will be the end of stage number 1. And then at the end of stage 2 will be lap number 40. That should give us a 20-lap run to the finish here. And as we're working around to 33, that's Danny Bowen. He just been put a lap down, struggling off the pace right now in that 33 car. We have a car in the wall. Crash back here in turn number 3. That's a 39 of Ryan Sieg upside down. And he saw Anthony Alfredo in the grass. Caution will wave here for the first time tonight here at the Auto Club Speedway. It's a big crash here down in turn number 3 and 4. Ryan C comes to a stop on his lid, and Anthony Alfredo unable to get his car refired. His car is stalled in the grass. See a lot of front end damage towards the left front tire. And we are under yellow here on lap number 10. And the pace car has now came back onto the track and has picked up Josh Berry and Sheldon Creed. Brandon Jones, Ty Gibbs, and Justin Allgaier, your top 5. Then you have Riley Herbst, Daniel Hemrick, Brandon Brown, Kyle Larson, and Sam Mayer making up the top 10. But caution is out here at Auto Club Speedway. Gonna take a look and see if we have any cars coming to pit lane here. I would highly doubt we will see anybody come down unless they believe tire wear is going to be a huge factor and maybe help propel them to a possible stage win. But looks like all drivers are going to stay out here under this yellow flag. Alright, so we're going to go back and we're going to look at the what took place here to bring out the yellow. And right here, they're 3 wide entering turn number 3. That's Tommy Joe Martins on the bottom. Myatt Snyder gets into the 45, sends him back up the track into the 39. And that's where he collects the 23 of Anthony Alfredo, the 51. And also another victim was the 51 of Jeremy Clements. And you see his car, the hood was completely ripped off his car. Here's another look at it right there. See Snyder tries to get on the door of the 45. The 45 comes up the track just a little bit, gets into the 39, and Anthony Alfredo had literally nowhere to go. And Sieg ends up going upside down. A terrible ride for Ryan Sieg, who I believe had a tough outing last week at Daytona, and now another one here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Anthony Alfredo top 5 last week early, and appears his day is going to be over here prematurely here in Fontana. So that's what brought out the caution here at the Auto Club Speedway. Josh Berry continues to lead, continues to dominate early here in the Production Alliance Group 300. Gonna take another break, and we'll be back with a restart right after this here on the 4Y Broadcasting Network. Race number 2, the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series season here from Auto Club Speedway. We are currently halfway through stage number 1. We had a pretty big crash down in turn number 3, putting us into yellow. 3 drivers out of the race: Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, and Jeremy Clements. All checked and released from the infield care center. But all 3 out of the race here early, as we are going to go back green on lap number 11. We tend to go here in the opening stage. The 33 of Danny Bone, he came down pit lane when pit road was closed, so he was unable to take advantage of the free pass. Austin Hill, your pole center, we saw him come down pit road on lap number 1. He is currently 2 laps down. Kyle Weatherman spent more time on pit lane. He is currently 4 laps from the leaders, as we are going to go back green here with Josh Berry out front. Sheldon Creed trying to get a nice launch here on the restart. We saw Berry take the lead on the outside line. Can Sheldon Creed do the same here on the restart? And oh, look at the 98. An aggressive move by Riley Herbst right up through the middle. He's going to get around the 98 of Ty Gibbs. Great move there by the 98 of Riley Herbst. And look at the 2 of Sheldon Creed. He had another great restart on the outside line. It's the 2 of Sheldon Creed, the rookie, the former Truck Series champion, trying to take it to the 8 of Josh Berry. And Riley Herbst, he started, I believe he restarted in 6th place. He had a heck of a restart. He's now battling up here for 3rd place, trying to get around the 19 of Brandon Jones. Justin Allgaier rounds out the top 5. Now we have the 88 of Kyle Larson now trying to get around that 18 of Ty Gibbs. This is the teammates, Landon Castle, Daniel Hemrick, and AJ Allmendigger from Colleague Racing. Nearly 3 wide here. That's one thing you do not want to see as a car owner, is your car is 3 wide, but right now they remain double wide, as Larson's going to go 3 wide on the 2 JGR teammates. And Jones and Gibbs nearly make contact as they come off turn 4. This is 5th, 6th, and 7th, as the front 2 rows are still double wide. It's the 8 of Berry still fighting it down low on the inside of the 2 of Sheldon Creed. They remain side by side for the lead, as Allgaier and Herbst remain side by side for 3rd place. 33 of Danny Bowen back on pit lane. More trouble for the 33, as Kyle Larson we got double wide here at the front. And then we have another battle here for 3rd place. Then we had another 3 wide battle, as this time looks like Gibbs and Jones are going to be able to hold off the 88 of Kyle Larson, possibly. There's Landon Castle now on the outside, and the 10 car, that pink number 10. 68 down low, Brandon Brown. And they are still side by side up here for the lead. Look at this. Josh Berry and Sheldon Creed going at it. Riley Herbst has now been able to get clear of the 7 of Allgaier. And now that the 98's gotten clear, is who is he going to help? He has an opportunity to help Creed or help Berry or help himself by making it 3 wide. He went down low, kind of gave Berry a little bit of a draft, and now Berry is going to be able to clear Sheldon Creed off turn number 4. And with 6 laps to go, Josh Berry trying to lead all 20 laps here in the opening stage. Riley Herbst on the bottom of Sheldon Creed. There's Allgaier now 4th. Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson still not done yet for 5th place. And AJ Allmendigger rim riding on the top lane. He's gotten by his teammate Landon Castle and his other teammate Daniel Hemrick. And now he's going to get around the 19 of Brandon Jones. And how about the 45? Tommy Joe Martin's up here. A great showing for Tommy Joe. Alpha Prime Racing is kind of a... Tommy Joe kind of stepped out of the... he had a team last year with Martin's Motorsports, but with funding, he kind of merged his team with Cesar Baccarella, forming Alpha Prime Racing. They got 2 cars here full time. And right now, both inside the top 15 with Tommy Joe and Alex LeBay. And now Martin's trying to get around the 68 of Brandon Brown. We just got around the 19 of Brandon Jones. So great start to great start of the race here for Tommy Joe Martins and Brandon Brown. Some great stories here developing in the first 16 laps of this race. But we are coming to 4 to go here in stage number 1. And right now it is Josh Berry. There's a 33 of Danny Bone. Still off the pace. Not sure what the issue is there on a 33. He failed to qualify last week at Daytona, and he's going to end up holding up A.J. Allmendinger and the 19 of Brandon Jones. Look at this. He is completely off the pace. And look what that did to the 16 and the 19. Sends them out of the top 10. And it's why to keep both of those 2 guys from getting stage points. And we are coming to 3 to go. Right now the top 3 single file with Berry, Creed, and Allgaier. And now Ty Gibbs works on the inside of the 98 of Riley Herbst. And now Kyle Larson will have a chance to see possibly go 3 wide again. We've seen Larson go 3 wide already a couple of times here tonight. More metal back here. There's now Noah Gregson. We saw Noah up here. He started inside the top 5. He's now drifted back to about 10th place. There's Landon Castle, Brett Moffitt, your winner. Another big mover in this race. Looks to be the, actually, it looks like the 26 of Colin Garrett is now being shown a lap down. He is currently being shown in 32nd place. Joe Graff Jr. We just got word that the 07 and the 6, something has happened to Joe Graff Jr. and Ryan Vargas. We got Myatt Snyder leaving pit lane, so a lot has gone on here. We just got word that the 6 of Ryan Vargas has taken his car to the garage area with crash damage. So as we complete this stage, we will take a look at what happened between Ryan Vargas and Joe Graff Jr. Now it's showing Colin Garrett is inside the top 15, so that may just be an error on the scoring. But right now we are going to be taking the final lap here in stage number 1. And it is the 8 of Josh Berry in control over Sheldon Creed. There's Justin Allgaier, Ty Gibbs, and Riley Herbst. Your top 5. It's been a relatively clean start of the race, although we had a pretty good big crash on lap number 10. But so far has been a dominating performance by the 8 of Josh Berry, who started on the outside of the front row, has led all opening 20 laps here at Auto Club Speedway. And off turn 4, Josh Berry is going to win stage number 1 here at California. So stage 1 goes to Josh Berry. Sheldon Creed will be second with Justin Allgaier, Ty Gibbs, and Riley Herbst. How about Tommy Joe Martins? Came all the way up to get. Actually, they're showing a little bit of a scoring error right now, but right now it is Berry, Creed, Allgaier, Ty Gibbs, Riley Herbst. Your top 5, Tommy Joe Martins 6th. So that is definitely a great opening stage here at the Auto Club Speedway. Joe Graff Jr., his car is still on pit lane. But we are under caution here early, or under our second caution. 2 early yellows, one of them right here with the stage break. And now that the caution is out, and we're going to see if anybody will come down pit lane. They can go all the way to the end of stage 2 on fuel. More than likely if they can get enough caution laps, but we'll see what they do here in the second stage, or at the end of this first stage. And now we're going to have a chance to bunch up the field here for another restart. One thing that we all love about Fontana is the restarts and how wild they get. And we're gonna have a chance to see another one here, but let's see if we have any takers on this yellow flag. And it appears that most of our leaders are going to stay out here at the end of stage number 1. So that is a very risky call by the crew chiefs on pit lane, but we'll see how that will work out for them. As let's take a look at what happened to Ryan Vargas and Joe Graff Jr. Alright, here it is on lap number 13. See the 07 of Joe Graff Jr. dives in deep and completely uses up Ryan Vargas, puts the 6 in the wall. And that broke something on the right front of the 6 of Ryan Vargas, because Vargas is now taking his car to the garage area, so his race is over. And we've seen the 07 on pit lane for quite a while. Definitely a tough deal with these two teams. They both missed the show at Daytona. The 07 car had a mechanical failure during qualifying, and that ended up bumming him out of the show. Well, that's what took place between Vargas and Graff, but your stage 1 winner, Josh Berry, and we'll be back with the restart here after the break. We're back live here at the Auto Club Speedway, working lap number 21. We'll be getting set for the start of stage number 2 here. Take a look at your stage results here from the first stage. Josh Berry, Sheldon Creed, Justin Allgaier, Ty Gibbs, and Riley Herbst. Tommy Joe Martins, Kyle Larson, Daniel Hemrick, Sam Mayer, and Alex LeBay. Your top 10, you see 0 points next to Kyle Larson. He's a cup guy, so he's not declared for Xfinity points, so he will not get any stage points. But we got Josh Berry here on the front row now with Sheldon Creed. And we will see if Berry can continue that success here into the second stage. As they come off turn number 4, the pace car is in pit lane, and time to get back to green here at Auto Club Speedway. An aggressive move by the 7 of Justin Allgaier down low on the bottom, trying to go 3 wide for the lead. But it's his teammate Berry who looks to be able to clear the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Possibly, no, not just yet. And there's that blue number 45, Tommy Joe Martins. We keep talking about him, but man, he's putting on one heck of a show. Here he is, driving up into 3rd place in the 45. But it's Berry and Creed door to door for the lead as they come off turn number 4. Now, I did want to mention that Sheldon Creed's teammate Austin Hill, he did get the free pass under this stage 1 caution. So Austin Hill is now 1 lap down. Mike Snyder, that contact he had in that first caution when he got into the 39 of Ryan Sieg. He's been on pit lane. He was on pit lane a lot during that first stage. He's now currently being shown 3 laps down as they are 4 and almost 5 wide back here. See Brandon Jones in the middle, AJ Allmendinger. Trevor Bay down low. Landon Castle up high now. Jeb Burton trying to fill a gap in the 27. Brandon Brown's down low in the 68. That's why we all love this track, because of the different grooves. You can run up high, you can run down low. There's like 2 or 3 lanes in between that you can run. Try to navigate through the bumps down here at turn number 1 and down the back straightaway. So bumpy, but man, it provides some of the best racing you'll see, especially on restarts, because these guys, they can go all over this racetrack. And we are still not done here at the front, though. Sheldon Creed and Josh Berry. Looks like Creed might be able to get in front of the 8 down here in turn 3. He does. Well, not just yet, though. He had it for a moment, but now Berry looks back down low. And now Daniel Hemrick's taking 3rd place away in the 11. Ty Gibbs working on the 45 of Martins. Riley Herbst down low in the 98. Sheldon Creed had the lead for a moment until Berry went back down low in turn number 3. And we're back to where we started from on this restart. Hammer kind of stays up high, stays behind the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Colleague Racing, RCR have a close relationship, so not too far away. Not really that big of a stretch when it comes to maybe calling Hemrick and Creed teammates. And they're going to work together to get by the 8 of Josh Berry, or does Daniel Hemrick make that move just so he can have a shot at the lead himself? He now tries to say, take second away. There's the 45 of Martins. Kyle Larson in the 88. Riley Herbst in the 98. With Ty Gibbs, Allmendinger, and LeBay. I'll tell you what, one big loser on this restart was that number 7 of Allgaier, man. He restarted in 3rd place, and he's back here outside the top 10. Or at least towards the back half of the top 10, as a Kimball Cross line, he was being shown in 9th place. Now the 2 is Sheldon Creed in front of the field with Daniel Hemrick and Alex LeBay. I'm sorry, the 45 of Tommy Joe Martins. And now Barry working on the inside of the 45. But how big of a confidence booster has this got to be for not only Tommy Joe Martins, but for Alpha Prime Racing as a whole? I mean, this is relatively a new team put together for during the off season, and they got 2 cars here full time, and they are putting on one heck of a show. I mean, Tommy Joe's up here racing with Josh Berry, who dominated that first stage. Kyle Larson, he's outrunning him, a Cup Series champion. This is a huge deal for Tommy Joe Martins. But up front, while Sheldon Creed is continuing to lead, one driver who is hoping for another yellow pretty quickly is the 21 of Austin Hill. Remember, Hill started on the pole, but he had some trouble early on in the race. Had to come down pit road on lap number 1. Went 2 laps down and was able to get the free pass. Now he'll get the free pass in 12 laps when the caution comes out to complete stage number 2. But that is as long as nobody else goes at least 1 lap down. And, well, caution lights are on. So as soon as I begin to talk about Austin Hill wanting a yellow, he's going to get that yellow here right now. Debris on the racetrack brings out our 3rd caution of the day. So it'll be Sheldon Creed and Daniel Hemrick on the front row for this restart. Danny Bone and maybe fluid on the racetrack, possibly from the 33 car of Danny Bone. Not sure what is. We've seen Danny Bone off the pace a couple of times here, and now they just taking this car to the garage area. So looks like Danny Bone is going to be done for the day, and will probably end up finishing around 35th to 36th place. Depends on if the 07 can continue, but caution's out for fluid from Danny Bone, which is in the yellow here for the 3rd time today. Here at Auto Club Speedway, going to take another break. Restart coming up here right after the break here in the 4 Wild Broadcasting Network. So we're going to go green here with about 12 laps to go here in the 2nd stage. Now these cars can go about 35 laps on the field, so it's going to be very close to see if any of these guys can possibly make it on field here to the end of stage number 2, because nobody came down pit road again under this yellow flag. So Sheldon Creed and Daniel Hemrick, they're going to be the front row here with 12 to go. Tommy Joe Martins and Kyle Larson on row 2. Josh Berry and Brett Moffitt on row 3. Back to green, almost a little bit of contact there between Creed and Hemrick. Down into turn number 1. See Martins down low in the 45, but it's going to be the outside line with the advantage coming off turn number 2. And that may be good news for the 11 of Daniel Hemrick. To the outside of the 2 is Sheldon Creed. Hemrick running double duty here this weekend. He'll be running the Cup race for Colleague Racing tomorrow afternoon. One of the few double dippers here in this Xfinity race. Kyle Larson being another one in that 88 car, and Josh Berry completely. He's losing a lot of spots here down the front straightaway as they're 4 wide behind him. Brandon Brown and Brett Moffitt making a little bit of contact. There's Sam Mayer on the bottom. They got to make sure they gave enough room. And we have the 2 car on pit lane. Sheldon Creed, trouble for the 2 car. And they may believe that they cannot make it all the way on fuel. So trouble for early now for the 2 car of Sheldon Creed, just like his teammate Austin Hill. He's probably going to end up going a lap down here. There's the 88 of Kyle Larson down the inside of the 45 for second place here. What a run by the 45, and this is unbelievable run he is putting on. We have more cars coming to pit lane. We got the 36 of David Starr, the 98 of Riley Herbst, the 15 of Bailey Curry, Brandon Jones, Landon Castle, all coming down pit lane. Look at Tommy Joe up here trying to get the lead away. This is unbelievable. The run this 45 car is putting on here at the front. Kyle Larson third, Justin Allgaier in fourth place, and now here comes Allmendinger on the inside in that 16 car. We're gonna have more cars coming down this time, Bob. We got Daniel Hemrick coming down, Tommy Joe Martins, Kyle Larson, Allmendinger, and the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Josh Williams coming down. There's the 4 Ryan Truex, the 92 of Preston Pardus. So they will now come down pit lane as there's the 2 cars. Sheldon Creed, where is he going to cycle out among guys like Daniel Hemrick and Kyle Larson? Going past the 32 car, Jordan Anderson. And the 20 looks to be slow here. Entering turn number 3, Trevor Bayne. Is he out of fuel? The 20 is shaking it back and forth. He may be out of fuel. Behind him, the 26 of Colin Garrett. So they may be able to make it to pit lane, but now, and it was the 9 of Noah Gregson is slow on pit lane. Brett Moffitt's on pit road, and we have a big stack up here on pit lane. Josh Berry has ran out of fuel and has caused, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I believe we may be in the yellow, and we are. We had a car stopped on, and the caution is for the 8 of Josh Berry. He ran out of fuel on pit lane, and his car came to a complete stop. And right now, we have a lot of cars currently out of fuel or coasting to pit lane. So we are now under yellow again here. And we have Justin Allgaier. His car is stalled here in turn 3 of the 44 of Alex LeBay. Now we are under yellow. Now remember, we talked about this in the truck race, and you probably noticed this so far in this race. Caution laps do not count because of the short distance race. You know, only 6 laps is, you know, caution laps do not count. So technically, some of these guys who's run out of fuel, like, you know, Jeb Burton right here in the 27 car, these guys would normally go a lap down, but because caution laps do not count, they will, as long as they can continue in the race, they will be able to stay on the lead lap. So hopefully they can get some of this cleaned up. There's Austin Wayne himself. You see some damage on the right side of that 37 car. Jade Buford is out of fuel in the 48. David Starr is still on pit road, the 36 car. So we have some cleaning up to do here as we are under yellow now for the 4th time here this evening. We still have about 10 laps to go here in this second stage. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to get all this stuff sorted out, and we'll be back with a restart right here after the break. Okay, so we are back, and we are working lap number 34 here at the Auto Club Speedway, getting set for the restart with about 7 to go here in this second stage right now. After all we spent the last 10-15 minutes getting everything sorted out, but as you can see, it's got a lot darker here. Sun is gone, and it is now a different track, a different race here. We got Ty Gibbs, now your new leader over Kyle Larson. Jordan Anderson is now 3rd. Daniel Hemrick, David Starr, Matt Mills, Alex LeBay, Justin Allgaier, Jade Buford, and Brandon Jones. That is now your new top 10 as we are going to get set for the restart with 7 to go here in the second stage. This race has completely turned upside down, and now we have a lot of new stories up here throughout the top 10. Jordan Anderson being one of them in that 32 car. 47 of Matt Mills doesn't really have the pace to keep up here in the pack. There's the 19 of Brandon Jones down low. We got Sam Mayer in the wall. Riley Herbst is around. We got a big crash here off turn 2. Sheldon Creed's involved. We saw the 78 Josh Williams. His rear end was up in the air. Noah Gregson, a lot of front end damage on the 9. Sam Mayer's collected in the 1 car. Austin Wayne Self, Preston Pardus, the 92. A lot of good cars back here. There's one of the dominant cars today, Sheldon Creed. Led a lot of laps here. He was on his way to could have possibly won the second stage if the caution did not come out. He's mired back here, and now we are back under yellow, the 5th caution of the day, and we're not even, and we're just past halfway. And a lot of good cars now taken out here in this wreck. Oh, and even the 8, Josh Berry. Look at the rear end of the 8. There's stage 1 winner Josh Berry involved. Myatt Snyder has more damage on the front end of that 31. There's Sam Mayer. He was the first car I saw get turned around. And here's a restart. Sam Mayer's in the middle of a 4 wide. There's 5 wide here. Tommy Joe runs Mayer up the track a little bit. Maybe a little bit of contact from Colin Garrett. Jeb Burton was kind of in the wall, or got squeezed in the wall by maybe the 24, Kyle Weatherman. A lot of front end damage on the 98 of Riley Herbst, who had a top 5 car earlier in the race. And we're going to try to slow it down just a little bit here as we're 4 wide. And we're going to run along with the 1 of Sam Mayer, the 4 wide. But now Brett Moffitt's going to get his car down low to try to make it 5 wide. And as you see, the 1 of Mayer continuing to get a run on the 26 of Colin Garrett. And there's watch the 27 of Jeb Burton. It looks like Mayer's going to maybe squeeze Garrett up the track into the 27 of Burton. Garrett's going to bounce off the 27 down into the 1 of Mayer and ends up turning the 1. And as he's doing that, right there, Mayer begins to get turned by the 26. And when Mayer gets turned, he gets into the 2 of Sheldon Creed, which sends Creed down into the 98 of Riley Herbst. This is going to cause a big crash here with cars with just nowhere to go, like the 26 of Colin Garrett. Looks like some damage on the front end of the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, Noah Gregson. Brandon Brown, he got rear-ended bad in the 68 car. And just a huge mess here coming off turn number 2. And here's another look at it right here. Look, oh, Josh Williams goes upside down in the 70. I didn't even see the 78 upside down. I saw his car like kind of partially in the air, but I did not even realize the 78 of Josh Williams ended up going upside down, and that may be the end of Josh Williams' day here. Sheldon Creed, his possible chance at a win looks to be over here with 26 laps to go. We are now under another yellow here at Auto Club, the 5th win of the day. Ty Gibbs continues to lead, though, the Production Alliance Group 300. Getting set for yet another restart here in the Production Alliance Group 300. It'll be lap number 35 when we go back green with only 6 laps to go here in the second stage. And more points going to be awarded. We have Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson, Jordan Anderson, Daniel Hemrick, David Starr, Alex LeBay, Justin Allgaier, Jade Buford, Brandon Jones, and Landon Castle, your top 10. And we are going to go back green here this time. A 19-year-old on the inside, a Cup Series champion on the outside. And you see a lot of guys around the top 10 area. We have some guys up here that ran out of fuel on the racetrack, like Allgaier, like the 48 of Jade Buford. And yeah, here they are. Because of caution laps not counting, their race is still on. They still have a shot here as we have one car way completely off the track here. That was the 21 Austin Hill, as we got the 9 off pit lane. Trying to get a better camera. The 9 of Noah Gregson off pit lane with some damage. But here at the front, it is Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, and now Daniel Hemrick, possibly 3 wide for the Stage 2 victory. The 07 Joe Graff Jr., he is back on the track. He is currently 18 laps down. We have more cars coming down pit lane. These are some cars that have been damaged, trying to meet minimum speed, and they are now coming back down pit lane. And right now, Ty Gibbs in control over Kyle Larson. And we have a lot of good cars that have gotten damaged after that accident off turn number 2, that last caution. You know, Sam Mayer's on pit lane, Brandon Brown, Brett Moffitt, Noah Gregson. And we have more cars that are, you know, out of the race, like the 2 cars, Sheldon Creed, the 20 of Trevor Bates on pit lane, Riley Herbst. So we're trying to get some more information on who's out of the race after the end of this second stage. But right now, Larson trying to pull a slide job on the 18 of Ty Gibbs, and he's going to take that lead away. And now the 19 of Brandon Jones down low in that 19 on the inside of Daniel Hemrick, Ty Gibbs. These 3 drivers, they were all teammates a year ago at Joe Gibbs Racing, and now the 11, the odd person now at Colleague Racing, he's the defending champion. And now trying to slide job his way by the 18 of Ty Gibbs to take control of second place. We have the Junior Motorsports car up here leading the race. We have 2 JGR Toyotas, and now we have 2 Colleague Chevrolets running out the top 5. As we'll be coming to 2 to go here in the stage. Next time by, as the 88 now goes by his teammate, the 1 of Sam Mayer. Mayer lets him go with no trouble. Now how hard is the 1 going to try to race the other guys back here to help that 88 win the second stage? Now remember, if Larson wins this stage, that really does nothing to Kyle Larson. It really does nothing to this 88 car, because this team is not even full-time in 2022. This team's going to run a lot of races this year between all 4 of the Hendrick drivers, and Miguel Paludo is going to run the road courses, and maybe some other guys will be in this car throughout the course of the year. But Ty Gibbs now back to the inside of Daniel Hemrick for second place. But the more these guys battle, the more that's going to help the 88 drive away. And Daniel Hemrick's going to fight Ty Gibbs hard for this second place, because even if Hemrick can't win the stage, he would rather have the 88 of Larson win the stage, because that's 1 less playoff point that Ty Gibbs would have in his back pocket, or the 19 of Brandon Jones. Further back, Justin Allgaier is now 6. AJ Allmendinger, Alex LeBay, David Starr, another great run here. Got lucky with that. The fuel mass on green flag pit stops. He's now 9th. Jordan Anderson is now in 10th place. But we are now on the final lap here of stage number 2. It's Larson, Daniel Hemrick, and Ty Gibbs, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Right now we have about 20 cars on the lead lap. Kyle Weatherman, 21st. He should be able to get the free pass here. He is the first car a lap down. He's currently 2 laps down. But off turn 4, it was his teammate Josh Berry. Is stage 1. Stage 2 it goes to Kyle Larson. He wins stage number 2 here at Auto Club Speedway. And now the yellow flag will come out, and it will be the 6th caution flag of the day, of the night. Daniel Hemrick will be 2nd. Ty Gibbs, Laney Castle will be able to get 4th place, and Brandon Jones here top 5. So, caution's back out. Stage 2 is now in the books. And these guys, they can go all the way on fuel now, so fuel will not be an issue for the remainder of the race. So that is a good sign, considering what happened the last time we had when these guys were having come down for fuel. So this race though has completely turned upside down. Like this stage 2, the finish to stage 2 is basically looks like a completely different race compared to stage 1. That's how insane, how much drama we have seen so far in the last 30 minutes. So, gonna take another break here, but Kyle Larson is gonna be the leader over Daniel Hemrick and Ty Gibbs. Can anybody take down the Cup Series champion here in the final stage? We'll find out right after the break.
Going back green this time by to begin the final stage here. Let's take a look at your stage 2 results. Kyle Larson doesn't get a playoff point because he's not a Xfinity driver, but he wins the stage over Daniel Hemrick, Ty Gibbs, Landon Castle, and Brandon Jones. Justin Allgaier, AJ Allmendinger, Alex LeBay, David Starr, and Jordan Anderson, your top 10. So some great stories here inside the top 10 to round out stage number 2. But now we have 20 laps, 20 green flag laps left here at the Auto Club Speedway. And we're going to go back green. Nobody came down pit road under this yellow flag, so everybody is pretty equal. As look at the 21, Austin Hill. What a save by the 21 of Hill. He was completely solid. I'm not sure who got into who, but that was a huge save by the 21 of Austin Hill. Currently right now running in 15th place. He has a little bit of damage in that 21 car, but after the after how his race began, even though he had high hopes after winning the pole, he's got to be pretty happy with where he is currently right now. And his car seems to be fast enough to pass a lot of these guys in front of him. There's the 15 of Bailey Curry, the 5 of Stephen Parsons. He nearly got into the 15, so he had to get out of the gas. That allowed the 45 of Tommy Joe to get back by. Stephen Parsons, the 5 car. There's Jeffrey Earnhardt, second place last week. We haven't really talked a whole lot about Jeffrey tonight, not since the race began, but quietly having another top 15 effort. And Jed Burton, who also had a top 5 run last week, also have another quiet run here, but right now trying to get around that 32 of Jordan Anderson. Right now, though, it is still the 88 of Kyle Larson putting on a clinic so far. Here to begin the final stage over Ty Gibbs and Daniel Hemrick. And we saw the 88, look pretty strong, in the daytime and when the sun went down. But now, as this track continues to cool down, Larson, he looked good, beginning of that second stage when it was dark. Or towards the second half of the second stage when it got pretty dark. He looked really strong, but now as the race goes on, as the track continues to cool down, is this 88 car going to be good at the end? With 17 laps here at this track, this a 2-mile track is going to go by pretty slowly when you think about it. It's probably going to go even slower if you're the 88 of Kyle Larson or if you're down on pit road on the pit box. Multiple drivers, though, we can report have officially retired from the race. Trevor Bayne, he is still on pit lane. The 20 car is still being worked on, but right now he is still on pit lane. But some guys who are officially out of the race, we're going to try to name off a few. But Colin Garrett, Sheldon Creed, Preston Pardis, Austin Wayne Self, Josh Williams, Josh Berry, Brandon Brown, Sam Mayer, Brett Moffitt, Noah Gregson, Riley Herbst, I believe Riley Herbst is still on track, but I believe Noah Gregson on down, minus Trevor Bayne and Joe Graff Jr. They are out of the race. Right now, though, for second place, battle is on for second, though. Daniel Hemrick back to the inside of Ty Gibbs for second place. Top 3 have now put some distance on themselves and the 10 of Landon Castle. This is one story that I was very excited when I heard about it during the off season. Landon Castle getting an opportunity to go to college racing. And, Landon Castle, he's been around for a long time, for over, 14, 15 years. Kind of been a journeyman driver in the sport. He's driven for so many different small teams, Starting Park, or just very low quality teams. Last season he was driving for Johnny Davis, missed the show in the season finale at Phoenix last season, and then sponsorship came into play. Cryptocurrency sponsor from a longtime partner he's had, they stepped up, got on this big break, and now he's gone from driving for a small team, for many small, perhaps even Starting Park teams, to now being able to chase for wins, top 5s, and battle for a championship this year. So this is going to be a great story to watch here throughout the course of the year for Landon Castle. And right now he's running very well in 4th place in front of the 19 of Brandon Jones. And we have another duo back here, 2 veterans, Justin Allgaier and AJ Allmendinger. Myatt Snyder, he is multiple laps down, going by the 44. His car is completely messed up on the front end. And he's still having a great showing. There's David Starr and Jeb Burton rounds out the top 10. Austin Hill has now driven up to 12th. He's just passed the 90 of Jeffrey Earnhardt. He's now going to try to cross him back over here in turn number 3. Slides up the track just a little bit. Right now we still have at least 24 cars on track. 25 should Trevor Bayne come back and lead pit lane, but definitely not a showing he was hoping for in his first race with Joe Gibbs Racing. He ran the truck race last week for Nice Motorsports. That was a 1 race deal. And then during the week, this deal got put together. He'll be in that 20 car for a good portion of the schedule. So excited to see Trevor Bayne back on the NASCAR Tour. But back up front, though, Kyle Larson trying to hang on. Daniel Hemrick's gotten by the 18 of Ty Gibbs and since then has checked out from the 18 and is now putting some pressure on the 88. And it's now 11 laps to go here, this time by for Kyle Larson. Larson runs high in turn 1. Hemrick runs more of a lower lane, trying to get some clean air on the nose of that Chevrolet. And Larson looks like he had to get out the got. He got pretty tight off turn 2. And Hemrick had a great run off of turn 2. Hemrick carried a lot of speed on corner exit, and you saw it carried all the way down the back straightaway. Now he looks to the inside for the lead. Daniel Hemrick, Kyle Larson, 2 champions from 2021, going out of here with 10 laps to go. And the car that Hemrick drove to win that title in 3rd place, the 18 of Ty Gibbs. His new teammate at Colleague Racing, Landon Castle, in 4th, and his other old former teammate, Brandon Jones, rounds out the top 5. And the top 3, they have driven away from Landon Castle and Brandon Jones. I'm looking at the speeds right now. 42.6s for these 2 guys, Jones and Castle. Last time by a 42.2 for Ty Gibbs, 42.0 for Hemrick. Hemrick was over a half a second faster than Castle and Jones. But even Justin Allgaier and AJ Allmendinger, they've been closing in on these 2 guys, trying to get inside the top 5. So don't count out the 7 or the 16 just yet. With 9 to go, they have a shot to get up here and at least try to get a top 5. And should we get another restart, of course, they would want to be as high as they possibly can, as another great turn 2 for Daniel Hemrick. Kyle Larson, he is struggling off turn 2. That time again, he had to get out of the gas. Otherwise, he was going to smack the outside wall. And he checked up, and it gave the 11 a great run on corner exit. And now again, here in turn 3, Hemrick to the inside. I know Hemrick would like to try to get by as soon as he can, because that way, if a caution comes out, he'll be the control car on the restart. And he'd also like to get by to keep the 18 from closing in and making this a 3-car battle again. 8 to go this time by, and this time Hemrick stays on the inside of Kyle Larson. Can he slide up in front of him off turn 2? This has been where Hemrick's been really strong compared to Larson. But that time Hemrick was unable to stay in the gas, unable to use all the racetrack, and now Larson's gotten back in front. And when Hemrick checked up, it slowed down both the 88 and the 11. And here comes the 18 back in the mix now with Ty Gibbs. That's exactly what I was talking about. That's exactly what the 11 is trying to keep from happening. And now Brandon Jones back on the inside of Landon Castle. 4th and 5th place. Further back, there's Alex LeBay. Jeb Burton's now moved into 9th place. David Starr is in 10th place. Austin Hill, after all the drama he had early in the race, can he possibly come home with the top 10 effort? But we do want to keep the camera on the lead. Hemrick to the inside of Kyle Larson. Another great run in the center of the corner. And he's going to have his nose out in front as they come off turn number 4. Can he clear him before they get to the finish line? Is definitely going to be the 11 in front, and Hemrick will clear Kyle Larson for the lead with 6 to go. But now Larson He's going to have to try to change his lines. Now this time he's in the dirty air of the 11. We saw Hemrick. He was doing a good job getting clean air on the nose of that 11 car. He was not running the same line the 88 was running. And when Larson got tied off turn 2 a couple of times, Hemrick had that clean air to keep from following the 88 to the wall. And also just looks like the 11 is just handling a lot better right now. I mean, Daniel Hemrick trying to pull away. We're going to try to give you a full field rundown with 5 to go. It is Hemrick, Larson, Gibbs, Jones, and Castle. Allgaier, Allmendigger. We have Matt Mills on pit lane. Jordan Anderson's also been on pit lane in the 32 car. Alex LeBay 8th. Jed Burton is 9th, and Austin Hill has now climbed inside the top 10. David Starr, still a great run though, in 11th place. 12th place is currently Tommy Joe Martins. He had a lot of speed early in the race. Got some damage in that crash off turn 2 that took out a lot of guys. But still a great showing here for the 45 team. Bailey Curry definitely would be a what could have been for the 45. Bailey Curry missed the show last week, but right now P13, Stephen Parsons, and Ryan Truex. We haven't really talked about Ryan Truex at all today, but having a great showing here for the 14. Jade Buford in 16. Those are the 16 cars on the lead lap, as we are going to be coming here to 3 to go next time by. Well, this would be a great story though for Daniel Hemrick, who, before this year, his entire NASCAR career was basically defined as winless. He spent his first season in the NASCAR Top 3 Series was in 2015 in the Truck Series, driving for Bob Newberry's old NTS team. Ran well there, moved over to BKR in the Truck Series owned by Brian Keselowski. Did well there. Went to RCR for a couple of years in Xfinity. Went straight to Cup in 2019. Didn't really run as well as we would have expected, and ended up losing his ride. Went to Genie Motorsports for a year in 2020. Didn't really have a lot of success as a part-time driver. And then last year, the magic came. He moved to Joe Gibbs Racing. Took him 33 races to get that first win. But he finally got it done in a dramatic fashion at Phoenix in that championship race off turn 4 with Austin Cindric. That's really been the story of his career, though. It's just taken him so long to get that first win. It took him until it was, let's see, I'm trying to do the math. It took him 7 years in the Top 3 Series to get that first win. After so much heartbreak, definitely the Chase Elliott of the Xfinity Series, in my opinion. Look how long it took Chase Elliott to win his first race in the Cup Series, and now he's a Cup Series champion. Hemrick took him so long to get that first win. He's now a Xfinity champion. Took him so long to get that first win, and now, in just his second race with Colleague Racing, he's in position to get a second win. As he comes off turn number 4, we have a couple of cars on pit lane. A.J. Allmendigger has been on pit road, as well as Austin Hill. That's possibly not sure what's going on with the 16 or the 21. But we are on the final lap. Daniel Hemrick closing in on his teammate A.J. Allmendigger, the 16 car. He was on pit lane. Jeffrey Earnhardt was also on pit road, same as Ryan Truex. They may have pitted a little bit too early. Maybe they didn't get enough fuel in the car. But the day is going to be about Daniel Hemrick. The defending series champion is going to make an early statement. If you want to win the championship, you gotta go through me. Daniel Hemrick comes off turn 4, and he will win the Production Alliance Group 300, his second career NASCAR Xfinity Series win, and locks himself into the playoffs here in 2022. His second career win, Colleague Racing's first ever win in Fontana, California. He's running double duty here this week, and he'll be in the Cup race tomorrow. So definitely a big momentum booster through Daniel Hemrick, getting the title last year, and now getting a win early on here in 2022. They say when you get that first win like it did last year, it just opens up the door for many, many more to come, and we may be seeing that here with Daniel Hemrick. And now he will get set to come down pit lane. Kyle Larson second. Ty Gibbs third. Brandon Jones and Lanny Castle. Great run for Lanny Castle. You know, talked about him, you know, being a journeyman. Finally getting this opportunity with colleague racing and already making the most of it with his first top 5 since I believe I want to say maybe 2015, 2016. So definitely some great stories here inside the top 10 as we're going to go ahead and show you the results as the cars will begin post-race inspection. And here is the top 12, and this is how they finished. Daniel Hemrick, he led only 10 laps. Ty Gibbs, third place. Kyle Larson second. We already went through the top 5. Justin Allgaier sixth. Great rebound after he ran out of fuel. Alex LeBay had damage, but definitely a great showing for Alpha Prime Racing. Jeb Burton 8th. David Starr and Tommy Joe Martin. So once again, another successful outing for Alpha Prime. Another great run for David Starr. Bailey Curry 11th. Stephen Parsons 12th. So great showings for Curry and Parsons. On the second page, Jaden Buford, AJ Allmenegger was running in 7th until he had a pit late. Austin Hill was in position to get the top 10. Came from 2 laps down to get into the top 10, only to pit with a few laps to go. Ends up lap down to 15th. Jordan Anderson, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Ryan Truex, Kyle Weatherman, Ronnie Bassett Jr., Matt Mills, Myatt Snyder, Riley Herbst, and Joe Graff Jr. This is the top 24, then Sam Mayer, Brandon Brown, and everybody else on back. Did not finish the race. We saw Trevor Bayne on pit lane. He never returned to the track. He is up 30th in the 20 car. Josh Williams, Sheldon Creedy are one of the dominant drivers in that second stage and the first stage. Ends up 32nd. You saw Josh Berry there in 27th for stage 1 winner. Crashes out. Austin Wayne Self, his second career start, 35th, and Danny Bone runs out the top 36. And then Ryan Vargas, Jeremy Clements crashed out early with Ryan Sieg and Anthony Alfredo. So now we're going to take a look here at the chase grid, the playoff grid. And now you see two names now in green. Brett Moffitt and Daniel Hemrick. So they'll be fighting for a title this year. Brett Moffitt had a great run going, but he was one of the victims in that turn 2 crash in the second stage. He ends up finishing in 28th. But he still has that win to cheer him up a little bit as we move forward to Las Vegas next week. Tomorrow, the NASCAR Cup Series will get set to go with their second race of the year. And then next Saturday we have the NASCAR Xfinity Series from Las Vegas as we will continue the West Coast swing here on the 4Wide Broadcasting Network. So from all of us from 4Wide, thank you guys for watching here on YouTube, and we will see you tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series right here from the Auto Club Speedway, and we will see you again for the Xfinity Series next week at Las Vegas. Have a good night, everyone.